music in everyday lives. Today we're at the National Museum of African Art to see how people in Africa use music.
We'll learn about life in Africa through art. We'll weave fabric, draw masks, and create our own rhythm.
So grab your backpacks and your instruments, because we're going on a field trip!
Pack up a juice pack, put them in your backpack. Yippee-ki, yippee, yippee, yip. Don't be slow, we're ready to go. We're leaving on a field trip. There's so much to discover, so much to do and see. Who knows what we'll uncover? And I'm waiting patiently. We'll take a hike, we'll ride a bike, we'll dig for dinosaurs. We'll sing a song, so come along. It's time to go explore.
For Africans, art is part of their everyday lives. Generally, you won't find Africans hanging art on a wall. They create works of art to use. We're going to use art to understand the people of Africa. And we've recruited a real expert, Peter Pippin, who was born in Ghana. He's going to help us.
Now, every kente has a distinct design and a distinct patterns or designs in them. Now, this one, it's made for a man to wear, so it's very large. So it has about 25 strips altogether. This as big as maybe a queen-size bedspread, so it's large.
You'd wear it like a robe?
Yeah, you don't wear it like a robe, you wear it like a Roman toga.
Yeah, you'd wrap it around.
Right, you wrap around. Can you come and point me a pattern? Okay? Okay, so this and this are this a pattern because it's repeated. Let me show your friend what you put it to me. She says that this one is the same as this one, as same as this one, as same as this one, so it is a pattern because it's repeating itself. How do we relate kente to music? Now, music is a very important part of our life. Now, you ask me what's the lifestyle in Africa or in Ghana among the Asante people. Well, we go to farm and we work hard and we come home in the evening, we eat supper and we get together and have fun. How do you have fun? You play music, right?
Music is used to celebrate the planting and harvesting of crops. Africans put many sounds together to create music.
If you can create a sound that repeats itself, you are creating a beat that repeats itself. What can we call that? Yeah.
Rhythm.
A rhythm. And when a shape repeats itself, what do you call that? A pattern.
If you are looking at it visually, it's called a pattern. And if you are listening, it's called a rhythm.
So listen to this. How many rhythms did you hear? Yeah. Three. Two. Two. One. Two. Wow. Why did he say one?
Because it was repeating itself.
Did you hear that? She says that it was repeating the same thing over and over, and therefore it's one. Listen again. It's the same thing. So it's one rhythm.
Music is one form of art, and we're creating a musical mosaic.
People dress up for special occasions all over the world. In Africa, though, if somebody is dressed in a real richly patterned outfit with lots of colors, chances are he's somebody really important.
Asante people living in Ghana produce distinct work of art. One of them that we are going to be introduced to is this sculpture here. The name is called a Kuyaba. Can you say that after me?
Kuyaba.
This was made to illustrate an idea of Asante beauty. When the head is circular, it's considered to be very, very beautiful. When is it used and how it is used? You know about it already?
I think so.
Okay, tell me then.
In religion,
In religion, somehow relates to religion, yes?
marriage,
Marriage? Yeah, somehow marriage deals with marriage too, because these are all part of human life, right? Yes?
maybe when like a child is born, it makes like a symbol for the child to be like pretty or something.
The Asante people believe that when a mother is expecting a baby, if she thinks of a round head, then the chances are the baby will be born with a beautiful round head. So, as a constant reminder to think round, the mother carries the akuyaba on her back.
Africans have been weaving cloth for hundreds of years, and the kente cloth is a particular favorite because of its bright colors and detailed patterns. It is truly a work of art.
No, I like this. Oh, that one's the best. I like that blue one in the back. It's like the cake, yeah. And one had cotton to make cotton twist.
Do you remember what they were called? That was a spinner.
Yeah.
The spinner takes raw fibers like cotton and spins it into yarn.
Mixed colors.
The dyer. Yes.
The dyer takes the yarn from the spinner and adds color to it by using indigo leaves to make shades of blue, or vegetables to make shades of red, kola nuts and mushrooms to make shades of brown and yellow.
What were they doing though to make the kente cloth?
Weaving.
One was a weaver. Yes, very good.
And like mathematicians, weavers are pretty smart. They don't use a sketch to guide them as they weave, but they keep those intricate patterns stored in their heads.
The fourth one took everything once it was done and did what with it? Yes.
So,
Well, eventually. That was the finisher. The finisher.
The finisher takes all the strips of cloth that the weaver has woven and sews them together to create one large cloth.
Pick out the colors you want to use. Okay, pair of scissors.
Cloth is created on a loom in Africa, but we're going to weave on a smaller loom made out of cardboard.
Get a piece of thread about this long and put a knot. Maybe a double knot. Okay, you can go on and do that. So you're going to have your knot on this side, and your yarn is going to come down this way.
it's really close.
Great, keep going.
You go all
Need some
the
help?
you go all the way
Okay.
across, right?
I think I did something wrong.
The rope has to be all the same color.
Yes. Okay.
Nobody know what you're doing here.
Okay, who's ready to start on their first
I think
color?
I got it.
Oh. Cut this part. This part.
Do you want more up here?
Why do people in the United States wear kente cloth?
Well, I think people in the United States wear kente cloth for a lot of reasons. One, because it's really beautiful. I think what's real important for us to understand, though, is that the true, authentic kente cloth is woven. It's not printed on fabric, it's actually woven. Very similar to what you're doing here now. The symbolism of kente cloth is one I think people in America are attracted to as well. And because it's so beautiful and is associated with royalty, I think there's a lot of pride that people experience when they wear kinted cloth. Oh, you want to go all the way across?
So, there's like colors green.
Where strip woven cloth is done a lot is in Ghana, and when I visited Ghana, I asked about that. I asked a number of artists, and what they told me was red is the color of valor and courage and strength, the color of blood. Green is symbolic of the rich land and foliage that you find in Ghana. Yellow is symbolic of the gold and the rich resources that you find in Ghana.
Any questions?
Look at this camera. The sound.
And that's what you're going to do. It's come under this one. And then you go under
Like I
every
did.
other one. Exactly.
Now it's time to put on our finisher's hat. Remember, it's the finisher's job to sew all the strips of cloth together.
It's a design of the
Now, see, this would be the center. Okay?
Turn it over.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. Oh, yeah.
See?
How about this?
Now, let's see if we can find another one that goes. Let's put this one over here.
This one goes. I think I got it.
So that you have this is the same as this. See? It's not really easy now, is it?
Now, if you happen to see Jay, our sound man, or Mark and Paige, our camera guys, don't worry, they come along, so you can too.
All these pottery come from one region in Africa, Central Africa. Now, pots are a very important part of human, not only Africans. But in typical Africa, pots are used in making many things.
Made that. Where was it made
These
at?
are all from Central Africa, Zaire, and around that region. Oh my God.
What are these pots made out of?
All pots are made out of clay.
Think of design before they make it, or they just make it as they go along.
Well, they make designs as they go along, but when a pot is made, which are made from potter's wheel, sometimes you have to work around it. A couple of days after it's made, then you can put the designs on it.
The pot takes a long time, so,
Well, she wants to know how long it takes to make a pot. This pot will be made within an hour. After you have prepared all the clay and ready, she will sit down and take about an hour or less to make this pot.
these pots have a specific meaning. Or can you like put drink out of it?
Yep. What I'm saying is that you can use pot in drinking water, you can use pot in storing water. For instance, when you look at this one here, you see that they are meant for drinking water. So it's almost like a jar, right? It has a handle and a spout for pouring the water out. So those are for drinking water.
Some pots with the patterns on them. Do some of them have a message?
Now these patterns we have seen so far are visual, are meant to make make the part appeal to you.
People that make these pots, do they also make tops to go over it?
Some of the parts have taps with them, but not all of them.
Are the women the only one that make it?
In traditional African cultures, pottery is women's art.
I like the designs. I like how it's shaped. It's just like a football.
Yeah.
How is it fun?
The firing process is done by not in outside. You put the firewood on the ground and arrange the parts on the firewood, and sometimes depending on the quantity that you're firing, sometimes you put some firewood on top of the pot also, and cover the entire thing with a straw. Then when you put light in it, the flame will not be too much. The flame is contained because the straw are on it. So the firewood will burn gradually. Alright? So when they all burn out, it means the fires are it's all baked well and it can sustain water and other things.
African people don't wear masks for Halloween, but some do wear masks for special occasions. It is believed that a mask is actually a special piece of artwork, and the person who wears it can actually bring good fortune to others.
This mask represents a male ancestor spirit. And you can see from his ferocious teeth that this is a fierce mask. This level that you see down at the bottom represents a beard. These masks, however, are danced by men. And that's what you see in this photograph over here.
If the men wear the women's mask, do the women wear the men mask?
Actually, it's men, almost always, that actually dance masks.
Is it upside down?
No, it's not upside down. If you look at this photograph right over here, you'll see an actual picture taken in 1924 of one of these masks being performed. It's another mask that's used during the initiation rites of young boys.
If someone's wearing the mask, how can they see after the shapes of the eyes?
Oh, you can see. Yeah, you can see. If you were to like hold your hand up to your eye, where there's a little space in between your fingers, you'd be surprised at how much you could see. The trick to drawing this mask is this. You've got these two beautiful long ears, and when you look at it, Try to figure out how many of those ears it would take to fit across the face. What would be the best place, the best way to have your paper?
Sideways.
Sideways, right?
The dip looks like a canoe if you look at it.
It looks like a canoe. Look at it upside down. Okay, I believe you.
If you'd like to learn more about Africa, I've got some great books for you. A is for Africa by Ifiuma Unifulu. My Painted House, My Friendly Chicken and Me by Maya Angelou. And Ul Balbal, A Day in Masiland by Barbara A. Margolis.
There are better ways sometimes to teach people how to do things, and on the continent of Africa, they use stories a lot to teach people how they're supposed to behave, or to tell them that they're doing something wrong, or even just to have fun. And I'm going to tell you a story today that you might learn something from. The king made a contest. He said that if someone could take the javelin and throw it in the air and count to 10 before it fell, they would get a big bag of money. And all of the animals came to try. The elephant came in. And he picked up the javelin, and he threw it up in the air, and he said, 1, 2, 3, 4, and it fell before he could get to 10. The lion said, that's because you're so big and bulky, and I'm the king of the jungle, I can do that. He picked up the javelin, he threw it up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it was on the ground before he was finished. Now the giraffe came along. Giraffe was long and tall and figured that since he was closer, he could throw it up much farther than everybody else and count to 10. He threw it up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and it had fallen before he could get to 10. All the animals tried, and no one of them was able to count to 10 before the javelin fell. The deer, the tiny deer, came along and said, I'd like to try. She took the javelin, she threw it up. She said, 5, 10. And the king gave her the money. Which is just to say, there's more than one way to count to 10.